Hello? 1, 2, 3.
Wikie was born on June 1st, 2001 at Marineland, Antibes to experienced mom Sharkane. At only a few months old, she would begin to participate alongside Sharkane in shows, and she would begin training for future artificial insemination. 2009 was a really tough year for Wikie. Only a few days into the year, she would lose her mother. And in July of 2009, she would take her frustrations out on her trainer, pushing her around and under the water. That same year, Marineland would start trying to artificially inseminate Wikie in hopes that she would get pregnant. She was only 8 years old at the time. After several attempts, Marineland was successful in impregnating Wikie, and on March 16, 2011, she would have her first son, Moana. This would be the first time that an orca calf was successfully born through artificial insemination in Europe. And then 2 years later, on November 30th, 2013, Wikie would give birth to her second son, Keho. And while Keho's father was never officially named, it is suspected that he is a product of inbreeding and that his father is Wikie's half-brother Valentin. By 2015, there were 6 orca residing at Marineland Antibes. There was Freya, who was the park matriarch, Wikie, her 2 sons Keho and Moana, as well as her 2 half-brothers Inuk and Valentin. In June of 2015, matriarch Freya would pass away, and if the social upheaval wasn't enough, there was a storm brewing, a real storm. Violent storms in France caused heavy flooding in the park, and several animals died. And only 8 days after the flood, Wikie would lose her brother Valentin. In 2018, Wikie became the world's first talking orca when she learned to mimic the sounds bye-bye, hello, Amy, and count to 3. In 2017, the French government began to phase out whale and dolphin captivity by passing a law against breeding. And in 2021, they took this one step further by banning whale and dolphin captivity in France altogether. This meant that Wikie and her family had to be out of the only home that they ever knew by the end of 2026. While continuing to profit off of the animals displayed at their parks, Marineland let its facilities fall into disrepair. And on October 18th, 2023, Wikie would suffer her worst loss yet when her eldest son Moana would pass away from bacterial septicemia. Now, it's important to understand that female orca dote on their sons their entire lives, so this would have been an absolutely devastating loss for Wikie. And as the tanks at Marineland continued to deteriorate, Wikie's brother Inuk would pass away on March 28th, 2024 after ingesting a piece of metal. Several months later, on December 4th, 2024, Marineland announced it would officially be shutting its doors on January 5th, 2025. They cited failing attendance numbers as well as tightening animal welfare regulations as the reason for the closure. Originally, they were planning to move Wikie and Keho, who were their last 2 remaining orca, to Japan, but the French government rejected this. The potential whale sanctuary in Canada was also rejected by the French government. On April 10th, 2025, cranes and trucks showed up to transport Wikie and Keho to Laurel Parque in Spain. But they never got loaded up and they never got transported because ultimately the Spanish government rejected the move. Currently, as it stands on May 18th, 2025, Wikie and Keho are languishing in a deteriorating and dirty tank in an abandoned park. And while there's been mentions of a possible sanctuary being created in Europe, that would be at least a year away, and time is running out for Wikie and her son.